there, I am Lori Delp.
Hi, and I am Rara is in the house, Catherine Sarah Myers.
Hi, I'm Barbara Dunn.
We are speaking to you tonight as the Gratitude Girls. Let's do some geography, Lori. Lori, first of all, it's really great to see you again. It's lovely to be here with you. I so look forward to our show. To our viewers and our new guest tonight, I'm speaking to you from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And Lori, what part of the world are you in?
I am about an hour south of Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, this is so great that we can speak to people and to each other all over the world. I chose a different setting for our show tonight, Lori. I thought it would be nice to speak to our audience from what I call my study. So there's a little bit of the outside, inside, and this is a room filled with inspiration, and it really does give me a chance to come up with good ideas. And this is a wonderful idea that we had this evening, and most credit to you. I bow my head to you for our wonderful guest. Lori, how about I do an introduction to our guest this evening?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. I'm really excited. So to our viewers, for the first time that you're watching us, we're the Gratitude Girls. Lori and I have a wonderful story about how we were together. But what's even more wonderful are the people that join us on our show. Tonight we have a special guest. Our guest is Barbara Dunn. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. What about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about the part of the world that you're talking to us from.
I'm about 20 minutes outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm originally from Illinois, and I've been from here pretty much since I was like 5 years old. And I'm really enjoying the Tennessee, living here in Tennessee.
So tell me a little bit about Tennessee.
Well, it's a lot different from Illinois, that's for sure. A lot of hills and a great, beautiful scenery. And unlike Illinois, they're just nothing but flat grounds and cornfields. And I always have a little joke that I'm originally, like I said, I'm originally from Danville, Illinois, and I always joke and call it the Andy Griffin town because it's so small. But here in Murfreesboro is pretty much growing and growing just like Nashville. So.
Well, Barbara, funny you should say that about Andy Griffith's town. On my way, Lori, about a week and a half ago, we were together, and we stopped in a town called Mayberry. And do you know that Mayberry is where they actually did that show?
Uh-huh. Pretty cool.
I was there. So that's fantastic. So, Barbara, let me ask you a few questions. First of all, are you as excited as I am about having you on the show tonight?
Yes, definitely.
It's like hanging out again. We met and we had all of us. Well, I had an instant friendship with you, and you have that kind of a heart, and I'm sure our audience can see that and feel that from you. Tell me a little bit about how wonderful it is for Barbara Dunn to open her heart. We're new friends, and yet I feel like I know you.
Well, awesome. I'm glad that you feel that. I just enjoy people, and I like to give and help, and to just enjoy my grandchildren, and I open my home to a lot of people that's been homeless, and people that's actually needed groceries or any kind of things that I can be able to help serve in the time of crisis that they're going through. And I just enjoy being the hands and feet of God.
Barbara, thank you for sharing that. It's hard to believe you have grandchildren. You look so young. Tell me a little bit about your grandchildren. Tell us a little bit about your grandchildren, please.
I have 5, actually. And the oldest 2 will be 2 next month, and then the littlest one was just turned 4 weeks Thursday. And I spoil them a lot, and I just really enjoy and cherish the moments that I have with them.
5 grandchildren, Barbara. Hard to believe. It's hard to believe, but these are the miracles in life that occur, and these are not anything that we're asked permission, we're just granted. We're granted these wonderful miracles in life. Now, Barbara, you and I were chatting a little bit before the show, and I'm privy to some of the things that really excite you. And I'm so fascinated by the fact that you like roller coasters. Can you share with me a little bit about this fascination and this excitement that you have for roller coasters? How did that start?
Well, I actually took my kids to Disney World about 10 years ago, and ever since that first time on the roller coaster, I was just fascinated of the challenging rides that is, and I look forward to the convention in September at Disneyland, and hopefully you're going to join me on the scariest rides, right?
Oh, the scariest rides that are on the floor, that go fast, that puts me behind a steering wheel. Those are my kind of rides. Fast car, fast boat. Oh, I love going fast, right at ground level. But I will share with you that I have taken flying lessons, so I really shouldn't disillusion you. Many years ago, I started working on my private pilot's license. So that's something that's in the works. So yes, I can fly high, but I guess it's a little bit different. Now tell me about the fun that you have at amusement parks. I'm so fascinated by that because I think you're such a brave woman.
What was your question again?
Tell me a little bit about let's talk about, besides Disney, where it is that you're so excited about these rides. I'd love to know a little bit more about it.
Well, like I said, I went to Disney World, but the second theme park I went to was, let's see, Kings Island, and I tried the free fall, and that didn't work out too well. So I can say that that was way out of my comfort zone. But I just love, I'm afraid of heights, but I don't understand it. But yeah, I can go and do this little fast rush. I just like the rush, and just enjoy the fast winding curves, and then of course I went to Universal with my children, and my most favorite ride was the Hulk, like I said a few minutes ago. But I'm all about getting out of my comfort zone and trying new things. And even though I said I would never do the free fall rides again, so.
Well, Barbara, that's very admirable for you to go out of your comfort zone. I'd like to ask you a question about gratitude, because you mentioned something before that seemed so lovely, that you're there to help people with groceries. And can you tell us a little bit about that and that aspect of what you do for some of your neighbors and friends?
So I volunteer a couple of times a year at this local church here, and they actually feed. We've made like 1,000 food boxes up once a month. They do it once a month, but I actually do it a couple times a year, and I just really enjoy being helping them in a time that they desperately need food, and I just really enjoy knowing that I could be able to at least serve and help the community.
That's wonderful. Your community is very lucky to have you. Do you have any plans? Does it happen sporadically, or is it something that you schedule?
I'm just, whenever they call me, or if I don't have anything on my books to do, I'll go out there and volunteer unexpectedly. And also, there's it's called End of Slavery here in Nashville, where we raise funds just to be able to rescue women and children from being sold out on the streets. And so what that is we have a bike thon, and I could actually share more information on that. And people will actually will go either walk or run or ride a bike on this trail, and so to raise the funds just to be able to, like I said, rescue. And what the money goes to is to house these women in a safe place. And they will, some people, it's like some women are actually branded some on their parts of their body, and where they've been sewed out. Even children has been, sewed out and branded, and it's like tattooed. And so, of course, it'll help them to be able to get a job and to put food in their refrigerator and to pay their electricity and water to be able to get them on the start safe, fresh in life.
Well, Barbara, that's very admirable that you have such a deep interest and a humanitarian aspect to your life. Let me ask you, I appreciate you sharing that with us. May I ask you a question about physical activity? Because somebody who likes to be out of their comfort zone and go on roller coaster rides and likes a rush, what do you like to do for physical activity? Do you yourself walk or run or ride a bike or do something special?
I like to swim and ride bikes and walk, and I like to photography. I love shooting, especially I specialize in children, and been in here lately, been doing a lot of shooting proms and weddings, and once or twice a year. So, and of course, my grandchildren, I actually my sister calls me the paparazzi because I always have the camera out. So.
Well, I guess if it's a hobby and you really like it, it's second nature to you. You must walk around with that camera all the time.
Yes, I do.
Well, that's very interesting. And may I ask you, because we all have an interest in photography too, I know that we're here at Gratitude Girls where we're snapping pictures. Is there something in particular that you've recently taken, what we say shot, taken pictures of, that you would like to share with us, like a particular photo shoot?
I could barely hear you, I'm sorry.
Is there a particular photo shoot that you've done that you'd like to share with us?
Just mostly like my grandchildren, just because they bring joy to me, their little smiles. I actually here lately was able to do a newborn session, and it meant a lot to me just because I helped raise the newborn's mother throughout the years, so it was kind of special to be able to take in her children's pictures now. So that was just, it meant a lot to do that. So
that's an amazing, amazing connection. Now, Barbara, you and I have been developing a relationship, and like I said, it's just so easy to talk to you. And Lori, you have such an advantage to be so close to Barbara. Would you like to share a little bit about what you and Barbara have together, or something that you've done? We'll paint a picture for our audience, because Barbara seems like such a ball of fun. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you some more. Would you like to share some stories, Lori?
Sure. Well, Barbara and I actually met because we're walking in the same shoes of life. We both lost our spouse. And so we met through a widows group, and then found out that we were really close to each other. We're only about an hour and a half away from each other. So we've been able to connect and build a friendship. We've been able to go out to dinner and have fun together, and even traveled halfway across the country together and went to different seminars. So, and we've got plans in the future to travel together. She's going with me. I'm speaking at an event in Virginia in August, and she's going to travel with me there, and then she's going to travel with me when we go to Disneyland in California in September. And who knows what else we're going to add on the plate, but I plan to keep her busy with me anyway.
Well, that's really great. Look at how friendships blossom. Traveling is such a lovely thing to share. Lori, you and I a couple years ago were talking about when we would be together, and now we're together more times than we even thought that would happen.
Right, exactly. It's so wonderful to be able to have our our own businesses too, that we're able to travel and meet each other up, you know, wherever we want, whenever we want, and we just realize that we have that passion. We need to see each other, so we just go and do it.
Right? Isn't that really wonderful to know that I want to see my Gratitude Girls partner? We want to see Barbara. We pick up the phone today, today's technology. We're talking to each other, and the next thing you know, we're there. And Barbara, I really love that you are so technologically advanced. You're talking to us tonight from your cell phone. Now, for those of our audience who's watching us, you know, what goes behind coming on to a show? Well, it's easy, right? We snap our fingers and here we are. But we go through all kinds of things to make sure that we can be together, talk to people all over the world. Lori, let's try something new tonight. Barbara, would you like to ask Lori and I a question each? And something interesting for our audience to hear. And let's turn the tables around a little bit.
Sure. How long have you been actually living in Canada?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. I moved to Canada when I was 28, and I am living here 29 years.
Wow, a long
It's my
time.
home.
So that is,
Sorry?
I said, so that is, let me count on my fingers.
Yeah, that's right. Let's count. You know, I did that just to see if there were any mathematicians in the room. It's also, the point is that I now live in Canada, you know, longer than I've lived in in the United States, because who remembers, you know, year one and year two? Not to say I don't have memories, but it really is home for me. It's where I raised, you know, my family. And although I know that I am from New York, because that's where I'm from, I was born in Brooklyn, this is my home, this is my country. There is one funny thing though, Lori. Every time I come back to the States and I see that American flag and I'm entering, you know, into a hotel, the conversation comes up and someone says, "Welcome home." That's really fun because I get that welcome home every time I come back to the States. So thank you for asking that question, Barbara.
You're so welcome. And Lori, like, what is your favorite interest? Like, what interests you? Like your hobbies and that, you know, that's therapy to you.
First and foremost, my kids. That's my life. Everything revolves around them. But after that, my favorite is really technology. I love to, in my graphics design, I love to create pretty things digitally for clients that they never imagined what could become of something, and then I create it for them and they love it and they're happy with it. And so I love that. And then also, you know, with our card business, I love to be able to send out cards and the same thing, get the texts and the emails and the phone calls back that just people are so appreciative of, you know, when I try to think of a different person every single day of just to send something to someone just because. And I do that with texting and phone calls and social media as well. I try to post on somebody's page every day at least once. I try to text somebody at least once a day, and I, of course, send a card once a day. I send an email and I call somebody, and it just and just out of the blue, I just pick somebody that that their name happens to come across my head, and it a lot of times, so many times, it ends up being that they tell me, you know, it was just when they needed it, it was just the right time, you know, they're so grateful and things, and it just blesses my heart to be able to do that too, and that God gives me those senses to be able to do that.
Sure. Yeah. And Catherine, like, what did you do before you become associated with Send Out Cards?
Well, thank you for asking. Many years ago, I was a broker of record. So in the States, I have my own real estate broker's license. And that was what I did in the States. And just before actually, let me rephrase this. I tripped on what I'm doing right now in our company, in our card company, I tripped on that, and it was a divine intervention. I was looking for a group of women to connect with, and I was new to Ontario. And I thought, I'm sure there are some women I can connect with. I was new to the area, and the short version is I came into our card company through that group of women, and I met my very, very dear and best friend, Irina and Alex McCarskey, by accident. You know, Laura, you're talking about how you met Barbara, and Barbara, I met my very dear friend. She didn't know who I was one day, and the next day there I was. And I've never spent a birthday or a Christmas or a Hanukkah or an Easter, or it doesn't matter what the holiday is, we're always together and hanging out. So I've had my own private practices and businesses, and I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I've always been having my own private practice.
Sure. And Lori, before you, like, who actually introduced Send Out Cards to you?
Damar actually did. I've known him for many years, and so he knew that I did my web and graphics design and that I sent out custom cards for Christmas of my family every year anyway already, as well as I've always sent out birthdays and anniversary cards and things like that. So it was just a natural thing for me to sign up because it just added so much ease to what I was already doing and simplicity to what I was already doing.
And that's great. You know, what we have in common is that we are all reaching out to people. I felt the need to come close when I said that, like reaching out, and I thought, well, let me get closer to Barbara, to Lori when I say that. We all have that desire, and I noticed that we have that habit of reaching out to people and communicating with them, and that's probably in our DNA. I'm sure we were born talking and listening. I really love sharing that commonality with you, Barbara, now that I know you, and Laura, you and I think so much the same. And that's great. It's wonderful to share that. Lori, do you have a question that you would like to ask Barbara or myself?
Let's see. Barbara, where do you see yourself in 1 year from now? What's your short-term goal? Where do you want to be, and where do you see yourself 1 year from now?
I plan on being executive and send out cards, and soaking myself in is learning as much as I can on how to be successful and send out cards. And I was sitting here thinking, I have such a compassion for people that when I was a child, I had went through a lot of things I shouldn't have went through, and so I didn't wasn't showed any love by my parents, and so I grew up and I promised myself that I would do my very, very best to love everyone, no matter what they went through. And so that's a great thing I can do through Send Out Cards, is to reach out to the ones that really has no family or any friends. And so that's what I love about this Send Out Cards, because I have opportunity to be able to put a smile on my friends and family. Or if I meet someone I don't really know, I don't meet a stranger, by the way. So I actually would send them a card, and so that's where I see myself, is to be more like an executive in a year, hopefully.
That's a fantastic goal. Always looking forward. Lori, I have a question for you. Where's the next place that you're going to travel to? And I know you said something in August, so I wasn't quite sure if that's the next place or if that's one of the places.
Well, our family vacation is always the second week of July, so so that's the next place we're traveling to. I'm not sure where that is yet. I normally have everything planned a year in advance or more, and this time it's in a week and a half, and I don't have it planned yet. So I'm not really sure where we're going, but we're going somewhere.
That's a new Lori Delk. So you're traveling in a week and a half in July, and then again in August, right?
Right.
And then in September we'll see each other, and then in October again we're traveling together and we'll see each other.
Yep, we'll be in Vegas in October, and then we don't have our schedule for November or December yet. So
Not yet, but I'm sure that you and I are going to work on that. This is a remarkable, remarkable series of events for us as Gratitude Girls. I am so excited about that.
And in 5 weeks, if I can add this, that I'm going to Hawaii. So I am so pumped up and excited for that and the
just going to ask you, Barbara, please tell us about that. I was just going to ask you next. Tell us what's happening. Where are you going? How are you getting there?
I am flying out to California with my meet my best friend, and then 2 days later we're going to fly out to Oahu, Hawaii, and I'm going to be again advance my adventurous because I have I can swim, but I kind of have a fear for deep water, so I challenged myself to go and do this new thing that they have out. It's called an underwater scooter. And what we do is ride the scooter down to the reef. However, my lady friend, she said that she's not doing that, but she would parasail with me and do a little bit of horseback riding close to the beach, and just a lot of a week's packed full of activities, which I'm very excited. So.
That is amazing, completely amazing, Barbara. You're going to Hawaii. This is quite a travel group that we have here tonight. I would love to follow up with you and know more about what actually happens and what you do in your experiences. And I love the fact that you embrace your out of your comfort zone and you do these things. So I'd love to know more about it. I'm sure you do too, Lori. And Lori, I'm keeping my eye on the clock so that our viewers could see that we are true to our word. It's 9:58. So if, with your permission, I'd like to go around the room and share with you how I feel about tonight's show. Barbara, I'm thrilled that you are our Gratitude Girls guest tonight. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
You're so welcome, and thank you for having me on the show tonight. It's an honor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. And Lori Delk, what can I say? Every day that we are together, every day that we get to speak, and every show that we experience together just opens up the possibilities for us. I know we will travel the world and air from different cities and different countries. I see that in our future. Thank you for being my Gratitude Girls partner.
Thank you.
So how can we tell our audience, let's tell our audience, what is it that they can do in order for us to read their stories and have them, or have you, the audience, on our show? Lori, can you share that?
Absolutely. So everybody, send us your gratitude stories at our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/gratitudegirls, and we'll let you know when your story will be featured. We'll see you right here next month, same place, same time, same channel, fourth Tuesday of every single month, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, and 6:30 Pacific. Thank you so much for being with us, everyone.
Good night.